Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hello, Paul. Welcome to our Thursday night reading sprints. We've gone back to Thursday night.
We have. We did Fridays for a little while there.
Yeah. I think Thursdays are great because it's like kicking off the weekend, but it's not technically weekend yet, so you don't usually have plans. It's a good night to read in. For us, it's starting the weekend. Not for everybody, but welcome. So, how's everybody doing tonight? Hi, Tatiana.
Hi.
Oh boy, a bunch just popped up. Hi, Emily. Faye.
Hey.
Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Welcome. So, we were just talking about our Thanksgiving plans. Do y'all have Thanksgiving plans? This is the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
We can take a little time to read now because it's not Thanksgiving week yet. What are you reading tonight, Jenny?
I am reading a fantasy. It's the second in a duology. So if I finish it, I'm finished with the series, which makes me feel good. We need more short series. But it's called Two Twisted Crowns, I think.
Ooh.
And it's about like a misty world, like the world has mist. And it lures people into the mist and you get lost. And all the magic is in like a deck of playing cards, and people have to like tap a card and they have the ability to do something. It's a really cool world, but it's a fantasy romance.
Oh, good. Yes, that's good. Oh, I like that. So is the mist like, is it like alive or is it magic or like?
I think it is. They haven't revealed yet what it is, but like you need something to walk through it, or else you'll get lost and you'll never come out of the mist again.
Ooh, fun. Something tells me you're going to find out how this mist works and what's
Yes.
behind the mist. Hopefully. Sometimes books like to keep these things vague, but oh boy.
Oh,
3 more days. I'm
wow.
sorry. Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, I realized after I said that. For us, it's the weekend, but probably not for everybody. Kevin works 4-day work weeks, so I actually am working a little bit on Friday, but only a couple hours. It's almost like I'm off. You can do it.
I started to say a half day counts.
Yes.
You're kind of in weekend mode when it's a half day.
Yes, exactly. Yes, you can do it. Hello, Ed. Nice.
It's nice.
Keeping it simple. Hi, Sharon. That is a struggle.
Yeah.
Because everything has like butter or sour cream in it, even if it's like potatoes. Like there's still going to be cheese or something. That is a struggle. Do you end up just bringing your own food, Tatiana? That's what I've ended up doing over the years as I've developed food sensitivities. I'm just like, okay, I'll bring some squash.
Yes, I do the same thing. And then you have to worry, like, are people going to be offended?
Yeah.
Like, no, this is just me. I have to accommodate for me.
Yes. My family's been very forgiving. Oh, yes. What was it?
It's called Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig, I think is her name. The first one was One Dark Window.
Ooh.
You might like it, Emily. I feel like Since you're reading Swordcatcher, I feel like you might get into it.
I forgot to ask you, did you finish it was the book the young adult fantasy we were both reading at the same time, like a couple reading sprints ago. Oh, I can't remember the name now. The one it'll come to me later. Anyways, I'm only halfway through it. But I'm really enjoying it, but I just keep getting distracted because I'm hosting too many things. I think I even have the audiobook out. But I'll get behind on the comments if I look for it. Hi, Teresa. Ooh. That title. Dang. Oh, yes. I was wondering how you knew. I was like, are you friends on Instagram or something?
I have not started Swordcatcher yet.
Once again, hearing of a new title for me. I've not.
This is Cassandra Clare's like her first time she's not doing the Shadowhunters. And so everyone's like on pins and needles about it.
Oh my God. Is this like an arc that you're reading, Emily, or is this already out? Is it already out?
I think it's out.
I've never even heard of it.
Yes. I wanted to know if you were going to read it, Christy.
I might. I really wanted to read her last series, but I was like, I don't know if I can since I haven't kept up on the Shadowhunters world at all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe I haven't heard of this. Like, why doesn't my library have it already? I'm so surprised. George R.R. Martin blurbed it. Everything I look for in a fantasy. Wow. Do you know what you're bringing, Tatiana? I'm so curious. Oh, yeah. That's a mood.
I love to listen to audiobooks at work.
Yes. That's what I was doing all day working. I was listening to an audiobook. Yes. That is Potluck Survival 101.
That's what I always do at church. Is bring me a little vegetarian thing.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Yes, if you like Fourth Wing, you're going to like One Dark Window, I think is the first one. You'll like it.
And spend the day reading. That sounds like a nice break from whatever else is happening in your life.
It really does.
That's thankfulness right there. Self-care. Adult fantasy? My mind is being blown.
She is stepping out. She's trying to do something new.
I'm excited to check it out.
Oh, yes. I wondered if it would go on deal.
Awesome. Hello, Cool Gamer. Woo, yeah, Faye. I'm between that one and it's a World War I, like that really famous World War I novel. That's from the German perspective. I'm drawing a blank.
All Quiet.
Yeah, All Quiet on the Western Front. I'm between that one and Poor Folk. I'm not sure which one I'll read tonight. What do you think of it, Faye? Ah. Ooh. That scared me. Sorry. Bye, Tig.
Yes. It doesn't sound depressing. I love lentils
Yeah, and
and
tofu.
tofu.
Yes. All right.
So you're between two? Are those your two
Yes.
options?
Those are my two options. Although, if I can't focus, I have pretty good focus today, so I think I'll be fine. But if I need to, I might switch to drawing and listening to my audiobook that I've been listening to, which is it's called The Aquariums of Pyongyang. And it's like one of the first North Korean refugee kind of memoirs, although it's written by, I think, an American journalist, but he is interviewing this North Korean refugee through an interpreter. So it's like a collaboration of three people. So I don't know if I would call it a memoir or not, but basically he's telling his story through interpreters. So I guess
Wow.
yeah, it's fascinating because it's actually about a prison camp in North Korea. And it's like the first work published in the West about that. It was published in like 2000, so it's older. But yeah, really, really interesting. Oh no, I haven't gotten that far yet. His first letter just cracked me up, and I fell in love with him instantly. Yay! I'm so happy to hear that. St. Petersburg agreed with you. Yes! Awesome, Joe. Have you heard of that one?
No.
Another one to Google.
We always have at least one that we have to search and write down.
Definitely. I really ought to start just making a running document. Books I learned about in sprints.
Yes.
Yes! Awesome! I hope you love it. Yes, I hope you love it. Yes. I hope so too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. Okay. I guess it's gonna get worse. Okay. Welcome. Hi. Welcome, Jana. Jaina, because Jay Gatsby. I always have to say that out loud. All right. Shall we get started?
Let's do it.
Should we do a half an hour?
Sure.
All right. That seems to work well for us.
That's a good chunk of time. You get a lot achieved.
Exactly. Okay. So 14 to 44. We'll just do 14 to 45. By the time we start, it'll be.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Did I ask? Yeah, I did ask you what you're reading. Sorry. I was like, yes, I did. Like right at the beginning. Okay. I should probably put reading in there.
It's so official to see it go across the bottom of the screen.
I love that. I forget who I saw doing that, and I thought, must do it. Maybe Krista. Krista is so fancy. Like, she'll like set up like an ambiance room for everybody, and then she did a poll the other day, like on her live. I was like, how do you do a poll? I tried to figure out how to
Wow.
do it, but I couldn't figure it out.
I didn't know you could do it.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Yes. All right. All right, let's get started. Hey. How did you do, Denny?
I feel like I read a lot and it was really, really good. It's really interesting.
Yes. That's awesome. Did you learn anything about the mist?
Yes, they are going to be able, if they do everything right, like if what they want to achieve happens, the mist will be able to like go away and connect them to the rest of the world. So that'll be really cool. I love how misty it is, though. It's kind of moody. It's kind of perfect to read this time of year.
Definitely. Honestly, a magic world centered around mist. I love that.
Did you read both of your books or did you just commit to one?
I I finished one chapter in All Quiet on the Western Front, but I feel like I'm gonna have to go back and reread it because it's just not connecting with me at the moment. I'm having trouble keeping track of all the characters in the book. I feel like it has a lot of heart, and there's like these moments that are really gorgeous and like heartbreaking. Like there's a moment in here where it talks about how, we should make all the generals of the nations, go fight each other like man to man rather than making all these young 20-year-olds go fight the wars of people who've sent them there. And I was like, yeah, why don't we do that?
Yeah.
Like, that's absolutely how it should go. Let them fight it out. So I feel like it's definitely a worthwhile read, but I am having trouble with characters because I think maybe because it's all last names and
Oh, yeah.
I can't really tell them apart like character wise. So maybe I'm just not far enough into it. Like I said, I've only finished chapter 3, so yeah. So that's what I was doing. And I had to get up and do some back stretches. So I listened to part of it on audiobook as well. Wow, nice job, Anne. What did you read for that sprint? Now I'm curious. Hi, Nicholas. Welcome. Oh, that was it. That was a while ago. Hopefully you're still here. Faye. Now I have to see. Are you back? Oh, it says you're 4:47. That means you must be okay.
Oh, wow. You might finish it, Faye.
Yeah. That's possible. It is Russian. So
Yeah.
there have been stories of Dostoevsky that weren't like a complete tragedy at the end, but it's still got like tragedy. Like the happy ending is somebody gets sentenced to like, I don't even know. I don't remember how many years, but a lot of years in prison. But they didn't all die, so I
Yeah.
guess it's a happy ending. That's like, so we'll see. I have no idea what's going to happen in this particular one.
Oh, yay.
Good job. Woo! Go ball. I'm just picturing where that is. So I think by now the crime has happened. In Crime
So
and
much
Punishment.
Dostoevsky tonight.
I know. It makes me happy. Maybe I should just switch over to that. I can probably focus on that.
I need to finish The Brothers Karamazov. That's
Yes.
what I should be doing right now.
There is no should be on book 2. You just do what you want.
That's true.
Are you still enjoying it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yay.
The plot is not, I think that's the funny thing is like everyone talks about it like, oh, this is like a murder mystery kind of like Crime and Punishment. And I'm like 500 pages in. I said, no one has died. No, I mean, no one. So every time it goes back to the plot, I'm like, well, I'm not really here for this.
Right.
Then somebody stands up on their soapbox and talks for like 50 pages about Jesus and the devil. And I'm thinking that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
This is literature.
Yes. Did you finish The Grand Inquisitor?
Yeah, that was amazing.
Wow.
I wish I had filmed myself reading it. I cried. I mean, it was that good.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
so good. I was like, why does everybody talk about this? Now I know.
Yep. There's actually a graphic novel based on that chapter, which I think is hilarious. And people, I have heard people say that Dostoevsky was so successful in that speech that they think it overshadowed his argument of the book. But I feel like it shows that he grasped the difficulty of the struggle between good and evil, like how difficult it is to like resolve this on Earth.
Yeah. It's a very interesting philosophical. It's the most philosophical of his novels to me.
Yes.
Like the deepest, the one where I've had to read, like go back and reread passages. That's been this one over any of the
Yes.
others I've tried.
It's like the most, it's like the biggest and also the most basic argument of good versus evil, whereas a lot of the other ones are tackling like specific philosophies that he is seeing people believing. Like lots of people in Russia are believing in these things and he wants to tackle each one. But the Brothers K is literally atheism versus God.
Yeah.
Like it's like the biggest argument that you can have. At least in my mind. It feels like to me. And I think people agree. Good versus evil, it's pretty good versus evil, God versus atheism. Those are pretty universal.
Yeah.
Questions. All right. Sorry, we got onto it. Well, it's not totally a tangent, but it's kind of a tangent. Hey, good job.
Yes.
Yay. Are you enjoying it, Jana? I'm really curious. Crystal's here. Hi, Crystal.
Miss Crystal?
Welcome. I was just reading an article that Crystal sent me that I need to send to you, Jenny. It is like talking about the stories that are imagined by K-pop music videos.
Yes. I could write a thesis on
Yes.
K-pop music videos.
This article basically is a thesis. So, no, yeah, but you would love it, I think. I need to send it to you.
Yes, send it to me.
Nice. I've never read Angela Thurgle. Have you, Jenny?
No. I've heard good things, but I've never tried her.
You guys are always teaching us about new books. Okay, not yet. Okay. I'll try not to spoil anything then about said crime. Nice. I need to read more James Baldwin. He's like really powerful. Yes. A lot of people really connect with it because the main character is so relatable. I feel like in our modern day, the main character is really, really relatable.
Yeah.
Maybe not her quietness as much, but yeah, like looking back on a past love and sort of regretting not going for it. I feel like that's something everybody can relate to.
And she's older.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think
she's
she reads older than some of
yeah,
her other heroines.
she's very mature. Ooh.
Ooh.
Is that for the readathon you're hosting? I'm really curious. Mothman. Yeah, okay, Mothman. So Mothman is a cryptid, I would imagine. I started a book for the cryptid readathon. Of
As
Meg.
usual, Christy is reading 7 books.
It's too many, but I'm having a great time, so does it even matter? I don't have to finish something to enjoy a quarter of it.
That's the motto of book 2.
Have you heard of The Meg, Jenny?
Yes.
That's what
The
I'm
Big
reading.
Shark.
Yes.
Yes, I love it.
Yes. Maybe that's what I should be reading. I bet I could focus on that, no problem. Yes. Awesome. That's such a good idea, honestly. How are you liking Below? Oh, yeah. You liked it though, didn't you, Jenny?
I did.
I feel like you're the only person I know who liked it.
Yeah, I'm not that big of a Jane Austen fan, so I guess I was able to just have fun. I liked the cast. I thought the cast was so good.
Yes. It was so it's I love that they're bringing diversity to it.
Yes, I love Henry Golding.
Yes.
We need more period pieces.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, I want to encourage that at the very least.
yes, we need more period pieces.
Absolutely. It was like really beautifully shot, and I thought it was pretty funny at
And the
times.
fact
I
that
didn't
she had a
hate
rabbit, like,
it.
that's my dream, just to hold a bunny and walk around the house.
Yeah. It's hard. I think part of the reason why those kinds of adaptations or Austen fans struggle with them is because they often don't portray the the heroine, like her whole the character of the heroine is usually like a really big deal in Austen's novels. So when they just completely throw out the whole character of the heroine, I think that's when people go like,
Yeah,
why call it persuasion? Why not just be like a period romance?
right. And I think it's hard to do anything when you're like when the main character is like very internal. Like
Yes.
Mansfield Park and Persuasion are both like that, that she's very quiet and she thinks a lot. And I
Mhm.
get that that's hard to put on screen because we can't
Mhm.
see in their minds.
Mhm.
So they try to do something, but it winds up meaning that the character is not the same at all.
I mean, if you can make Darcy appealing before he starts talking with Lizzie, you can do anything in cinema.
This is true.
That's my opinion. Oh, Jaina agrees with you though.
Shouldn't we all have bunnies and walk
Yeah,
around the house?
absolutely. Ooh, that's good to know.
Oh, I love the Kieran Hines one.
I don't know if I've
Have you
seen it.
seen that, Christy?
Now I need to
He
look.
is so good.
We're starting the Google train again. I don't think I have. This doesn't look familiar. I'll have to order it from the library. Kind of like my books, though. I'm always in the middle of too many shows and
I know what you
things.
mean.
What are you watching lately?
I'm watching a show on Netflix that's called Bodies, and it's
Mm.
about a body, like a murder victim, shows up in 4 different time periods in London. like in Victorian times, World War II, today, and in the future. And
Ooh.
it's the same body in each time period. So it's kind of like a time travel story and a murder mystery. It's really good. It's
That
really
sounds
good.
cool. I love time travel.
I
That's
do
absolutely
too. And I love London.
yes.
So I'm just excited to see London.
Yeah, that is interesting. Did you like that fantasy about the four Londons? Do you know? I think it's Novik.
Yes, A Darker Shade of Magic.
Is that like the only book by her you liked?
Feel I liked that, and I liked The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
Okay. Yes.
She's an odd author for me. Like, sometimes I love what she does, and sometimes I hate it.
Always an adventure. Yeah, 95. Is that the right one?
Mm-hmm.
That's when I ordered. Oh, 95 and 99. It has both dates. So I don't know. I don't know what that means. I ordered it. Thank you. Excellent. Excellent.
I
That's,
hate that.
yeah. Yeah. There's like, I've accidentally ordered books on Amazon before that were like print on demand, and they were
Yeah.
terrible.
Those are the worst ones, I think, the print on demand. They're so blurry.
Yeah. You just can't even read it. Uh, we like a strong opinion on BookTube. Um, Below is great, excellent, very creepy. And a cat. Ooh,
Ooh.
oh yeah. I actually do have claustrophobia. Like, anytime I have to get an MRI, I just have to keep my eyes closed the whole time. I hate
Pretend
it.
you're somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes though, they'll let you listen to music, like if your head isn't all the way in it. So that really helps. Otherwise, I just have to pray. All right. Thanks for hanging out, Joe.
Yes.
Always really fun to talk to you. Now, speaking of heading out, I think it's time for our next sprint.
Let's do it.
Okay. So we'll do it 03 to 33. Let's just go to 35. Nobody ever complained about a little extra reading on a reading sprint.
No.
Awesome.
Good
Are
luck,
you going to?
everyone.
Yes, good luck. I was going to ask, are you going to continue the same book?
I am. I feel like I'm in it now. I've got to commit.
All right.
Are you switching up? Are you switching?
I might. I'm going to see if reading it the chapter a second time helps.
Yeah.
But if not, then I'm going to switch. It's just not clicking. All right. Let's do it. Welcome back, everyone. How did you do, Jenny?
I think I did really well. I'm almost halfway through.
Yes, awesome. Are we going to try to finish it this weekend?
I think so. It seems like it's kind of short, so I can probably finish it.
Awesome. Or maybe if it really gets going, you can finish it in one more sprint.
You never know.
That would be pretty fast. But it's happened before.
What about you? What did you decide to do?
I reread chapter 3 and had no problem, and I started chapter 4. So maybe it was just because I hadn't read it in a couple days. I just had to get acclimated to it again. But I don't have any more quotes to share. Good job, guys. Well done.
Wow. Ooh, by Anne Easter Smith. I think that A Rose for the Crown, I think might be the only book I've ever read from her. But that's like my favorite Richard III historical fiction.
Nice. Are you reading any historical fiction right now?
No, but I have been reading nonfiction, so that historical nonfiction, and I think it confuses me to read historical fiction and nonfiction at the same time.
Yeah, that makes sense. What's your nonfiction?
I'm actually reading about Richard III because there's a new book that came out today, I think, and it's about the princes in the tower and supposedly new information that proves they weren't murdered, I think. So
wow.
I'll see what I think of this.
That's wild. Yay, go Faye!
Go Faye.
Do you like rating things, Faye? I feel like you rate them in your videos. But I could be wrong. Good job, Gina. Good job. Excellent. Oh, wow. I guess that could be another reason why the font is small.
Yeah.
It was like an economical edition from 1952. Yeah, how did you guys do? Did everybody already share? Good job, Faye.
Go Faye.
3 stars. Okay.
Could be good, could be bad.
Yes. I'm very intrigued to see what I think of it. I'm expecting it to be really different from his later work because he's undergone massive changes between the time of writing this and the time of writing his most famous works that more people have read.
Have you ever read any Kafka, Christy? Like Franz Kafka?
Yeah. Have you?
Like him?
You know, I think I was intrigued, but also kind of repelled, which is, I think, kind of what he was going for. So
yeah,
maybe I did. I don't know. I'm kind of jury's out. I need to read more because all I've read was his like famous one, the Metamorphosis.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think that's really the only thing of his that I've ever read, but I'm reading a collection of his letters that he wrote to a woman who like translated all of his works for him, and they had like a love affair through letters. And as I was reading him, I was like, but Christy would be obsessed with this. Because he kind of reminds me, like his style kind of reminds me of Dostoevsky.
Ooh. Maybe I need to check out more of his stuff. I've never even heard of like other stuff I mean, I'm sure I've looked it up before, but I don't feel like people talk about anything except for the Metamorphosis.
I know that's the one we read in school, and it was not turning into a giant bug. I have seen literally 5 or 6 people posting on Instagram about his letters over the past month or so. And I said, is it a sign that I need to also read his letters? And now I am, and I see what everyone's talking about.
I'm very intrigued.
I just feel like you would like him.
Okay. Oh, I have heard of some of the other things. Yeah, when Paul said The Trial, I was like, oh yeah, I've heard of The Trial.
I think I own The Trial.
Okay. I mean, he's German, right? Franz Kafka. That sounds German.
I know he wrote in German. I think maybe he's Czech.
Is he Czech? Okay. Okay, I was gonna say, well, if he's German, that fits your MO, but maybe not. I don't know.
I know. I was like, why am I obsessed with German writers? But we should all be trying to learn German to read this stuff in the original, because it's this beautiful in translation. Check.
Thank you. I don't really count much of my college reading as actual reading.
That's true.
I pretty much have to reread everything in order to actually have an opinion on it. Because at the time, when you're in college, I guess when I was in college, they didn't really care if you liked it or not. They wanted to hear your thoughts on it. So I didn't really think about, do I like this or not? It was like, I have to read it and write a paper on it because I have to get a grade.
Right. I saw some booktuber. I'll send her to you, Christy, if I can find her, because she is Austrian, I think. And she reads a lot of interesting, like German and Russian stuff. But she was doing a literature degree, and she talked about in her video, I'm like, here's all the stuff you have to read to get a literature degree, I think, in Austria. And she said everyone who loves reading thinks that's what the literature degree is all about, or thinks that's what an English class is all about, but it's not.
Right.
It's about like, how do you discuss or like pick apart theme? It's not actually about reading and just enjoying a book. Like a lot of the times in her classes, she doesn't finish the book. They only read parts of it. And I was like, I think we did that.
Yeah, we did too. Lots of pieces of books.
Yeah.
Or like like the shorter things by a famous author, and not like his gigantic famous book. Yeah, I think that's true. In class, it's all about, what is the author saying? What does it say about the period? What's your thoughtful response to it? Things like that. Yeah, and the literary devices used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Which
your
I found
influence.
fun.
I like that too, but I think I was influenced by like what everyone else said. Like,
yeah,
I think the whole class would follow whoever spoke first, and we would all be like, yep, I agree. That's also what I thought.
I don't remember much actual original thinking going on in my classrooms. We tried, but it's so true.
That is true.
I feel like it's kind of a flawed approach to literature in some ways, because you'll understand an author so much better when you've read like 3 things from him versus like a selection of one of his works. You can sort of see what he's doing in that selection, but you won't really get what he's getting at until you've read more of his work, and you kind of get used to his style and his subject matters of interest, and I don't know.
Maybe those classes don't do as well, but I always liked a class that was just focused on a single author.
Yeah.
I feel like I got more, like I took a Dante class and we
Oh
read
yeah.
everything he wrote across a semester. And I was like, I'm obsessed. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
I think that's the way to do it, honestly. That's a great idea. I feel like that's why I've always struggled to connect to English literature, honestly, because it was like, okay, this month is this time period, and we're going to read like poetry from like 18 guys and, pick one to write a paper on or something. It just wasn't, I don't know. Reading piecemeal, I just never connected to any of the authors.
Yeah.
I don't remember half of what we read. But reading on BookTube, I've definitely connected to classic authors, and I literally never connected to a classic author throughout my entire high school or college experience, except for like Hamlet, because I
Wow.
think we read a lot of Shakespeare. So I
Yeah.
started to really like Shakespeare, but everybody else, we read like one book by them. And I was like, I don't get it.
I feel like Shakespeare also just connects to you when you're super young and emo because, like, everything he did was kind of emo, sadly
It's
enough.
true. It's so true. Wow, now I'm like rethinking everything. Yeah.
I want to find all my old syllabuses and do a video about like everything I
Yeah.
had to read for my English minor, but I did like medieval Renaissance literature. And so it's like all over the board, weird stuff. People hallucinating the devil in the streets, like plays that they used to put on that were like fake versions of the Bible. That's the stuff that I read.
Oh my gosh. That is wild. So fun. Hello, Natalia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's a lot of people's experience. Yeah. I actually enjoyed poetry more when I was in school because I was like, I feel like I can get a poem and really understand it when I'm looking at all the literary devices used. And I thought those were really fun to analyze. But when we got into like reading a whole Eudora Welty book, and then on the test there would be like a symbol from one scene that I had no idea what it was, but that's the pub quiz essay that you have to write on this symbol, and it's like,
Yeah.
I've read one thing from Eudora Welty once. I don't think that this is really my cup of tea. But I think I would love Eudora Welty. Like, I just need to read more from her. Okay, sorry. That was another tangent, everybody. Welcome to Tangent Sprints.
As always.
Yes, as always. Oh, that's a fun question. I think I know your answer, but why don't you tell me?
I like Constance Garnett. I feel like she gets a lot of flack. But since I'm reading the Brothers Karamazov, I've like taken pictures of pages and posted on Instagram, and I have gotten so many people messaging me saying, "What translation is this? Because this is beautiful." And I'm like, see, when you don't know,
You like her.
you like her, you don't
Yes.
critique her. I haven't liked her for other Russian authors, but I think she does Dostoevsky very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like the main reason I like her is because you can get cheap editions of the books with her translation, and you can get an audiobook to match it. So for me, it's just a more cohesive experience.
That's
That's why I
true.
like her. But I mean, I like other translators too. I just have more trouble reading them because there aren't audiobooks for them. So it's more of a struggle for me to read it. Or like if I can get an ebook, then I can read it as well. But usually the public domain editions of classics are the ones that I'm reading because I'm usually reading along with an audiobook. So that's a very personal answer, and it's probably not very helpful. Sorry about that.
People feel very passionately about their favorite Russian translators. I think people are very loyal and they stick with one for like, no matter who the author is, they stick with the same translator or translators, as it may be, Favir and Bolkonsky.
Yes.
But they're good. Pushkin, amazing. I don't know if it's because Pushkin is so beautiful, but
Mm-hmm.
do you like Pushkin, Christy?
Yeah, I do. I'm trying to remember. Did he write The Duel or was that somebody else? Let me check. Hang on. I know I've read some of his short stories. I get some of them confused though.
I feel like he had a banging Christmas story.
Oh, The Queen of Spades.
Yes.
So good. Yes, I loved that one. And The Shot. That was the one I was thinking of. Which I think I liked The Queen of Spades best. I'm pretty sure I've read another story as well by him that I really liked. I need to read more of him. I'm kind of a short story person. I really like short stories. And he wrote a lot.
Do you like Nikolai Gogol? Do you like Gogol?
Yes.
Yes. I thought you did.
Yeah.
This is just Russian classic authors hour where we talk to Christy about her Russian reading.
Yes. Welcome. Oh, hey, I'm glad you're still here. I was like, oh, it took so long to answer your question. You probably headed out. Am I the crazy one who likes to read textbooks of economics, physics, or math? I mean, I'm glad for you.
Yeah.
That's terrific.
Not me. Couldn't be
Yeah.
me.
Mm. You know, I did better in school when I did it was crazy. In math classes, I always did terrible, but I think it's because lectures, I don't really learn very well from lectures. As soon as they gave me a math textbook when I was on vacation for 2 weeks in geometry, the year I did geometry, I came back and I did so well that my teacher was like, you could have been in honors, which I have never been told. So I think textbooks really helped me when it came to math. It was the listening to a teacher, I just couldn't learn anything from that. Sorry, that was another tangent.
That's crazy.
Isn't
I wonder
that
if that would have helped me because I also struggled with teachers teaching math. But I think if you'd seen it written, I kind of think that would have been helpful.
Yeah. And it seems like math teachers really don't like to just hand you a textbook to read.
No.
They're like, we want to show you our own way on the whiteboard or your smart board or whatever. I had one teacher, no joke. He would only teach us how to solve equations. And so like on the SAT, he was like, we're not going to talk about SAT questions other than anytime you see an equation in an SAT program question, just solve the equation and that will give you the answer, which was terrible advice. And I did terrible on the SAT because those questions are not. So, I mean, I was like, have you ever taken one of these? Like, that's. Why are you teaching us this? It's a total lie.
Oh my gosh. And I remember when I took the GRE, which I think they've basically done away with now, and now you can get into grad school without taking that, which I'm glad for everyone, and I'm sad that I suffered. But I remember I had a textbook for that, and it said that the key with the GRE is also the key with like most other tests, like the SAT and stuff like this. And the key is to understand how they will ask the question. More so than anything else, how they phrase the question is what's meant to confuse you.
Yeah. I think
And
that's
ever
true.
since I was like, wow, I wish somebody had told me this like in 5th grade.
Yeah. I know, right? That seems really, that's the key. If that's the key, you should definitely know by 5th grade. Because they make you do tests like every year. So I'm really glad for you, and maybe you're right. Maybe that was what was missing in our math education. Oh, I'm sure. I am sure it's very different.
And I guess there's a lot of authors you couldn't do it with because they didn't publish enough. But I feel like James
Yeah.
Baldwin had a lot.
Yeah. Interesting.
Me too. I had the same feeling. When we were assigned like a modern book, I was like, what's the point?
Okay, my problem was all throughout high school, we were assigned like a couple British things. Like we were assigned 1984 and lots of Shakespeare. But like everything else we read was American literature. And I
Yeah.
didn't like any of it. I was like, why didn't we read something like from somewhere else? Like anywhere else, we could have read something. We could have read Russian literature,
Yeah.
but we didn't even touch on it. I understand though, teachers they have to get through a certain amount in a very small amount of time, so it's really rough to do that. That's what my teachers were always saying. There's so many people, so much representation that we can't cover because they have like a syllabus. But it
Yeah.
was very unfortunate. We didn't read any Austen, any Bronte. Yeah. None of the authors that are fun classics. No Dostoevsky. I feel like though my teachers were like really of a very modern frame of mind, and connecting with an older frame of mind and teaching it, I just feel like that was difficult for them.
Yeah.
They were probably raised on the same literature they made me read.
Yeah.
And I know they loved it. Like they loved one of my English teachers. Both of my English teachers really loved like who's the author of Franny and Zooey? Do you know who I'm talking about? Holden Caulfield's book.
Mm.
They really loved that. Like that was the things that they wanted to teach.
Catcher in the Rye.
Catcher in the Rye. Yes. Which is
I
so
think,
funny. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, I think that they should do like a modern and a classic like pair together because I see people's point about school curriculums being very white and man centered, and we need more like female centered books and people of color and stuff like that. And I think the way they're going to have to do it is like pair a classic with a more modern read.
Yeah.
Because I remember in college we read The Hunger Games, and that was
Really?
a great book actually to read in a classroom.
Yeah. That's terrific. Pairing something like that with like a classic dystopian. Like,
You're
come
right.
on. That's how to get kids excited, I think. Thank you, JD Salinger. Yes. I like that idea, Jetty. Pairing books.
We
If
should
only
be in
we were
charge.
teachers. Yeah, exactly. That's awesome, Paul. I love that. I really feel like I need people in my life who really enjoy. I've read like one book about economics and it was interesting, but it was super basic. I don't think I would, but I am fascinated by communism. I guess that would be economics. Maybe I need to like actually pay attention. I usually read about communism in like a historical context or like Russia or like North Korea. I find it fascinating because of the countries that tried it. Probably not because of the actual economics of it. Again, talking about me. I'm just rambling tonight. Forgive me, Jenny.
No, we love it.
Okay. Thank you, Natalia. I wonder if there's an English translation.
I hope so.
Yeah. One day I'll be able to read in Russian. It is not this day. Okay, I'm looking for that later. Yes. Ooh, some good Korean books. Jenny, have you ever liked a Korean book?
I honestly don't know. That's what I was about to say. Have I even liked any of the Korean books that I have tried to read? I liked If I Had Your Face. I mean,
Nice. Okay.
I think liking is kind of the wrong word for it. I thought that was thought provoking.
Yes.
If I Had Your Face, it was interesting because it was a world that I knew nothing about.
Yes. I agree. That one was like, it was so gripping and it just lives in my head still. I think about things from that book like all the time.
Yeah.
I think it helps too because I believe it was actually written in English by somebody. Frances Child lived in the US and China and in Korea. So she comes at it from a bit of an international perspective too. So it was interesting seeing Korea from her perspective as like an international person.
Please Look After Mom was really sad.
Yes.
Like I enjoyed the ending of that was so good. But that
Yes.
was very heavy.
Yes. It was really beautiful too. Like the portrait of the mother in that book through all of it's like written about a mom from the perspective of her kids after she goes missing. And it's really again super engaging. I find Korean literature extremely engaging and I think it's people call it weird and sad, but I think I like it for both of those reasons. I've liked everything Korean that I've read, so we're like at polar opposites.
And I feel like what gets translated is
Yeah.
probably like their Booker
Yeah.
books or something. You know, their award winners, mostly like
Mhm.
literary fiction type of stuff or like social commentary.
Yeah.
And I think that's interesting, but I think sometimes it feels like we're like years late to what's going on there by the
Yes.
time it gets translated.
Yeah. I think that's true. What what was that book about disaster tourism? Do you know what I'm talking about? I think it's a
Yes,
Korean
because
book.
I didn't read that, but you did.
Yeah. That was like the one I really didn't like. But I think a lot of people really did like it. The Disaster Tourist by Yoon Ko-un. And it's like short and it's like a very concept driven book. And it is like listenable. I listened to it on audiobook. Yeah, I think that's the right word.
Mhm. They're
But if you
heavy. It seems like
yeah,
everyone I've read has been kind of heavy.
yeah. I feel like Korea has a lot of trauma as a nation and it comes out in their fiction. All of their books that I've read are heavy. I know that they're not all heavy though. I'm sure that we just are only getting like Jenny said, we're getting the heavy ones translated.
I hope that more people are going to be interested in their literature and it becomes like, because like now Japan gets so much translated, it gets genre fiction and
Mhm.
like action thrillers, mysteries, and all that. I would love to read a mystery thriller from Korea. I actually have read one, and I wish I could think of the
Oh,
name of
yeah?
it. But he was like a spy or something, and it was really good. And I remember he was reading Demons by Dostoevsky, and he was like, literally, this is the worst book I've ever read. And that was such a mood. I wish I could remember the name of it. I'm going to have to look it up.
You recommended it to me too.
I felt, yeah, because I think it was also interesting, like in a conceptual way. It was talking about like a lot of really interesting things.
I do need to check that out, whatever it was.
Who knows? And it will probably take me forever to find it.
It's like a 2-word title, I feel like.
I feel like I can see
Yeah,
like
I
the
feel like
literally the cover, but
because a bunch of K-pop idols recommended it too, right? Didn't Kai recommend it?
yes, I
The
feel like I read
Plotters?
it.
Is that what it was?
Yes, the
The
plotters,
Plotter.
you're right. That's it.
That one really went around.
Yeah. That was really interesting. It was kind of like John Wick style world,
Hmm.
but it was interesting. He was like he had a heart and he was kind of a nerd and liked to read. And so all of like his inner thoughts were about books and literature. It was kind of
Oh,
nice.
that is interesting. I like that. Yes, Crystal, I think you would be blown away by it as well. Maybe not as blown away as I was because you probably already know about some of the social issues because you've been like paying attention to like Korean things for longer than I have, I think. But it would still, I think you would really like the message it gives. Yes, Faye knew what I was talking about. About Muhammad, written by a socialist. Wow, that is intriguing.
Hmm.
I think most countries are more international, but the American education. Oh, interesting. That might be true. Yeah. I don't know. I know I've heard about people talking about like world history and world literature classes. Like I've heard of people taking those in American schools, but I don't think that I did. I mean, I even we did take a world history class 1 year in high school. But I don't know. I'm not the best person to ask. I wasn't I tried to be a good student, but a lot of it went like right over my head. Which is kind of sad because I got good grades. I think my teachers were like, she's trying really hard. But I just don't remember anything. Okay. How do you feel about another sprint?
I'm up for it if you are.
Okay, I am too. I was just thinking it's starting to get late for Jenny, but if you're up for it, should we do another half hour or should we shorten it up?
It's up to you. I can
Okay.
do whatever you want.
I'm wondering if I can finish chapter 4 if we do a half an hour. And maybe you can even finish your book. Maybe.
Let's do it. Let's
Okay.
see what we can achieve.
Yes. Okay. So 609 to, oh dear, 10 would be 40. We'll just do 40. And then we can end it off. There we go. Ready?
Good luck, everyone.
Yes. Good luck. Welcome back. How did you do, Jenny?
I read, I think, 10% more.
Hey, good job. Excellent. You'll finish it no problem this weekend.
Yes, it's flying by. It's super short, I think.
That's awesome. I'm
How
looking
did you
forward to
do?
it. Good. I didn't finish the chapter because I had to run out and talk to Kev. We're going to be watching the new Agatha Christie movie tomorrow with his parents because his mom is a big Agatha Christie fan. So we had to settle the details.
That'll be fun.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Have you read Halloween Party?
I haven't read it, but I watched the movie.
Oh my gosh, on Hulu?
Yes.
What did you think?
I really liked it.
I'm excited. It looks like a very modern interpretation.
Yeah, it's very atmospheric. It's very spooky.
That's what I'm kind of looking forward to that. I think kind of some of my friends who are really like devoted to Agatha Christie haven't liked the look of it because it looks like almost like a horror movie, but I think it'll be fun. And okay, I had to share. There's this crazy part of why I didn't finish the chapter is because there was so much quote worthy stuff. I was like, I just have to slow down and read this 4 times. It's talking about the soldiers marching through the mist and they become a column, not men at all. Just thought that's exactly right. That's how they feel in this war.
Germans, once again, killing it.
Yes.
German literature.
Yes. Good job, Faye. Do you like to knit or something while you listen? Ooh. Nice. And if Kai suggested, yes.
Yeah, it's true. If Kai suggests it, I'll read it.
Yes. Well, Anne, you are welcome to fall asleep because we are just about done. So don't worry too much. Oh. Interesting. H.G. Wells. That's not who I would have been like if they were going to read. Yeah, that's interesting. Kind of like it. Awesome. Well, I hope you all really enjoyed the sprint as much as we did.
Yes, thanks for hosting.
Of course. Thanks for coming and chatting and reading. I always love this. That is fun.
That is fun.
Yeah. I had some problems with it as well. Like, there's a 13-year-old girl in it whom they, in one instance, call well developed, and in another instance, call sexy. I was like, I'm sorry? 13-year-old girls are not sexy. They are still babies.
Oh my
That is
God.
not the term to use. So I had a problem with that. And everybody was so concerned with her as a murder victim not being a nice person. Like, that's what everybody said. She was not very nice. Just like, okay, all right. That's an interesting way to form a mystery around. Anyways, I guess trying to make it less tragic that a 13-year-old girl was murdered. But when you're 13, maybe you have a reason to not be nice.
Right. You're going through a lot at 13.
Yeah. That is not the age to be judging if somebody is nice or not. But people will. I understand that. Go, Crystal!
Wow.
Yes, thanks for hanging out with us, Jana. This was awesome. Thank you guys for coming, and we'll see you next month over on Jenny's channel.
We can do some Christmassy sprints.
Yes, Christmassy sprints. I love it. Take care. Have a great weekend.